Hello friends, welcome to chapter 13 of a fundamental course on Indian Vedic Astrology. So this is the second part of the course, the second section, where we will now go through the practical real life case studies. And this is going to be the most interesting part of the course. So far we have covered all the theoretical concepts, all the significations and the principles. Now is the time to apply these principles and find out the challenges in the life, the root cause of the problem in the life, the root cause of the happy moments the person is facing in the life, person is enjoying in the life, why in certain areas person is progressing well and why in certain areas person is having some sort of challenges. So this is what we can identify very easily when we look at the horoscope, when we apply the principles, what is the MEP, what are the planetary degrees and what is their interplay with each other and what is the dasha that's operating and their impact in the transit. So that's what we will analyze by looking at the various horoscopes. So when we start with the example case studies, primarily we will be looking at the mental capabilities of the person. Some cases from all these areas that are mentioned on this slide, the mental capabilities, how do we check that? Marital discord, but there is no divorce. There are different sort of marital issues the person would face in the life. Either the marriage is delayed, so delayed marriage cases will be there. Either there will be a divorce, the marital discord resulting into divorce, so those cases could be there. And marital discord is continuously going on in the life, but the divorce is not happening. The persons, they are not happy with the married life, but still they are living together. So, and there is no divorce, but there is a marital discord. Yes. And then premarital prayers. What are the combinations? Premarital prayers or the extramarital affairs. So those kind of cases could be there. Foreign settlement. So these are the things that we can check easily with the help of the horoscope and can further guide the person that if there is some sort of obstruction in the foreign settlement or any of the life area that the person is actually consulting us, what sort of remedies could be performed. So we will see the horoscope, we'll check the horoscope and try to find out what is the challenge and what remedy could actually help in those specific areas. Health concerns, the health of the native, the overall kind of medical status of the person, the health status, that will be checked. Longevity areas, longevity issues. If there any sort of negative impact on the age of the person, that will be checked. Professional problems and success. So these are all the areas primarily from which you will get a different set of questions from the client, from your near and dear ones who would come to know that yes, you understand astrology and can analyze the horoscope. You will have to answer all such questions. So that's why the main core areas like childbirth, no child, marital discord, extramarital affair, health concern, professional matters, these are kept over here as the example case studies. So now we will go through and look at different charts one by one. We will take up one area and see 2 or 3 different charts for that area and try applying the principles that we have learned so far in this course, that which principle is being applied and what this chart actually is trying to communicate to us. So that's what now we will start. So we take the first case of mental capabilities section. The case 1 is of a female who could not study well and has disturbed mental peace and troubled married life. So we will look at the horoscope and see what sort of planetary combinations are there due to which the person is facing all these troubles and what could be the remedies for the person. So this is June 23rd, 1973. June 23rd, 1973, 1200 IST, Delhi. 1200 IST means 12 PM in Delhi. So this is the chart, Virgo ascendant chart rising, and because this is sign Virgo, what all planets are malefics? First we have to identify. Let's apply the step-by-step approach. Based on the ascendant, we find out the functional malefics. So in Virgo ascendant, 6th house has a Mool Trigona sign of Saturn, 8th house has Mool Trigona sign of Mars, and 12th house has Mool Trigona sign of Sun. So Saturn, Mars and Sun along with Rahu Ketu, they are functional malefics. So that's why all these planets are marked as red, marked in red. They are functional malefics. Right. Now let's identify the challenges in the chart, that what all planets are forming the close influence on different houses or on different planets. So we see that Saturn, because our MEP is close to 3 degrees and Saturn is say 1 degree is 39 minutes, is 2 degree 59 minutes is the MEP, and Saturn is placed exactly over MEP. That's one thing. So if Saturn is at MEP, Saturn would have its third aspect onto the, or say let's start it from Saturn itself. Saturn will have its third aspect on the 12th house, 7th aspect on the 4th house, and its 10th aspect onto the 7th house. You start counting from the placement of Saturn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 7th house and 12th house are the important houses for marital life. 7th house is the house of partners, 12th house is the house for conjugal bliss, the bed pleasures, and the 4th house, domestic harmony. So here, 6th Lord, Saturn, the Lord of house of disputes, is forming its negative impact, giving its negative impact because of its aspects. And 10th house itself is afflicted by Saturn because Saturn is placed over there. Right. And Saturn is also afflicting this moon, because moon is of 1 degree. So the impact of Saturn is more on the planet moon, and on the MEPs it is still slightly wider, but on moon Saturn is giving its exact affliction, and moon is the 11th Lord, the Lord of house of fulfillment of desires, the Lord of house of gains, Lord of house of income, mind, general temperament, because we have to look at the mental capabilities. So our prime focus is on moon as well as Mercury, because Mercury is the ascendant Lord. Okay. And Mercury is placed in the house of moon. So moon becomes the dispositor of Mercury, which is exactly afflicted by Saturn. So Mercury and moon, they both are under the impact of Saturn in one way. Moreover, Mercury is weak because of infancy also. Mercury is in the state of infancy, its degree is less than 5 degrees. So these are the challenges. Okay. 12th house is under the impact of Saturn, and 12th house has sign Leo. Sign Leo is ruled by Sun. Sun is placed in the afflicted house because this house is afflicted by Saturn. Moreover, this Mars, the most malefic planet Mars, is giving its 4th aspect, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th aspect on Sun. So 12th Lord is afflicted, 12th house is afflicted, 12th Lord is placed in the afflicted house. So 12th house significations will severely be harmed. So that's another challenge. And this sign is Gemini, the sign of Mercury. All the things are happening over there. Even though we will not call Mercury as the dispositor of all these planets, we will not call it, because this is not the Mool Trikona sign of Mercury. But ascendant Lord Mercury itself is weak, and its dispositor is directly afflicted by Saturn. And from the house, Saturn is initiating the afflictions over there. Exact affliction from the MMP is also happening to the 12th Lord. So all these things actually contribute to the negative events in the life of the native. Okay. The 4th house, which is the prime determinant of basic education for the native, that Lord is Jupiter. This house is exactly afflicted by Saturn. First of all, that is the thing. This house is afflicted by Saturn, and 4th Lord is placed in the sign of debilitation. Jupiter is debilitated. So the significator of knowledge, even though placed in the 5th house, but is in the sign of debilitation, and its Mool Trikona sign is under the impact of Saturn. So that's the challenge, that's severe challenge. And then when the moon is afflicted, the general thought process of the native, the mind, that will not be stable. The person will have all different issues in the life. Second Lord Venus is also in old age. So the planetary weaknesses and severe and close afflictions, multiple afflictions are there in the chart, causing all sort of problems. So let's see what we have written over here as the analysis part. Sign Virgo rises in the ascendant at 2 degrees 59 minutes. Saturn, Mars, Sun, Rahu, Ketu are the functional malefics, right? Saturn, Mars, Sun. Just look at the sign, and you must remember the lords of those signs should come out from your memory. and then your entire process gets speed up. They become functional malefics and rest all the planets are favorable for the native. Ascendant Lord Mercury is in the state of infancy, hence weak. Yes, we just gone through all these points. We have already gone through these points and now we are just summarizing it, going through whatever is the analysis that we have written in advance. Mercury's dispositor Moon is also in infancy. Moon is in infancy in 1 degree range and is afflicted by Saturn by its 10th aspect. Mercury is placed close to the MEP of the 11th house. Yes, so that's true. Mercury is placed close to the MEP, influencing 11th and 5th house positively. Most malefic planet Mars afflicts the 12th Lord Sun by its 4th aspect. This we have seen. Saturn is afflicting 10th, 12th, 4th and 7th house being placed closer to the MEP, right? Hence, Sun and its Mool Trikona sign both are afflicted by Saturn, which rules the house of disputes. As the 4th house in addition to 7th and 12th is afflicted, moreover 8th Lord Mars representing marital tie is placed in an afflicted house. It indicates disturbed marital life and loss of domestic peace. 2nd Lord Venus is in the state of old age and badly placed in Navamsha. Venus is placed in the 6th house in Navamsha. 4th Lord Jupiter is also debilitated. So all these points we have already covered. For mental capabilities, the role of Moon in general and Ascendant Lord Mercury shall be looked into. As general significator Moon and Ascendant Lord. Moon is weak due to infancy, afflicted by Saturn and is placed in an afflicted house. 3 weaknesses or afflictions. Mercury is weak by degrees and its dispositor is also in problem. As the 4th house is afflicted, it impacts the basic education. Moreover, 4th Lord Jupiter is also debilitated. Due to all these factors, the native had to avoid the studies in between. During her schooling, she was under main period of afflicting Saturn. During her schooling, when the child is kind of in the growing age, due to affliction of Saturn on Moon, natives get involved in disputes. Native gets involved in disputes quite easily and attracts troubles for herself. Mental peace and married life of the native was disturbed as well as the married life when they consulted. So during the time when they consulted, all these issues, especially in the case of marriage, were going and all different events regarding to education and disturbed mental peace, they happened or they were in progress, especially with respect to married life. So the charities for Mars, charities for all the malefics, they were recommended, and strengthening measures of weak planets, primarily Ascendant Lord Mercury and Moon, they were recommended to have better married life. And more than gemstones, more than colors, the charities actually would play a major role in this case. Without performing charities, these gemstones, these strengthening measures will also not work at all. And because Jupiter is debilitated, the person performs remedies for some time and then stops it. So this is how it is going around for a couple of times. They consult every now and then. The same sort of things would be recommended, and then they will start the remedies and then stop it in between. So that's how they are having they are going to get less impact, less benefits coming out of the horoscope analysis because they are not following the advice properly. So this is how we can identify very accurately what is the cause of the problem and what could be the solution. So now we move forward and check another case. Thank you.